The 2026 World Cup is in full swing on the other side of the ocean. Over the past few weeks, I've been reading a lot of coverage and commentary about this tournament, and one voice has grown so loud that it really got me thinking. That voice says, this World Cup has finally shown many people America's true colors. Not the America you see in the news headlines, but a complex, long underestimated machine. Some even argue that, through this football festival, the U.S. has quietly reproven to the world why it's still the most powerful nation on Earth. So today, let's talk about this rather eye-opening perspective. To be honest, for a long time, most of us have seen America through the lens of the news. Mass shootings, drugs, homelessness, high inflation, social division, political infighting. Even before this World Cup kicked off, many predicted it would be a quiet, chaotic mess. After all, soccer isn't even in the top 3 sports here. American football, basketball, baseball rule. Miami streets didn't look crazy with flags and carnival fever. Nothing seemed to signal a global event. Then the whistle blew, and the cameras cut to the stadiums. What the world saw was a completely different picture. 60,000 or 70,000 seats, all filled. FIFA's numbers say group stage attendance hit 99.7%, a record. Almost every match was a sellout. Streets were quiet, but stadiums made history. Why such a huge gap? A reporter on the ground wrote something that really stuck with me. He said, Americans don't necessarily party in the streets, but they will buy tickets, drive in, and fill the stands. It's not lack of passion, it's a different way of consuming. That single sentence holds the first key to understanding America. The World Cup here was never a state-sponsored festival of national pride. From the start, it's been a precisely executed business. And the first rule of business? You need ready-made venues. One detail that left many countries in despair. The U.S. built almost nothing new for this World Cup. Of the 16 stadiums, 11 are domestic. Hard Rock Stadium in Miami is an NFL home ground that's hosted Super Bowls and concerts. Lumen Field in Seattle, at T Stadium in Dallas, SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, all already standing. They only needed minor tweaks to meet FIFA standards, and they were good to go. By some counts, America has at least 20 other venues capable of holding 65,000 plus people, just sitting there and used. What kind of foundation is that? It's not something you build with government funds in a few years. It's infrastructure that grew organically over decades, through the deep integration of sports, commercial capital, and urban operations. America didn't build cities for the World Cup. It just happened to host one in cities already running at full capacity. And that incidental hosting is the first layer of real strength, a hardware base built on decades of market-driven investment. Stadiums need people, and they need to be managed well. Before the tournament, many travelers worried about safety, given the chaotic scenes often shown on TV. But images of tens of thousands leaving stadiums smoothly told a different story, orderly, with barely any hooligan trouble. Parking is guided, security lanes are clear, volunteers patiently point the way. That kind of large event organization doesn't come from cramming before a tournament. It comes from a still efficient state machine, old but functional, able to switch gears when needed. That's the second layer, finely tuned systemic operation. Hardware and management aside, we have to talk about the most basic, critical factor, money. Who's paying to show up? If the first 2 points were impressive, what comes next is downright mind-bending. Tickets for this World Cup are expensive, very expensive. Regular matches run into the thousands of dollars. Hot matches are astronomical. And this is happening while the U.S. is battling high inflation, hotels, car rentals, food, all rising in price. By conventional logic, ordinary people in a non-soccer-crazy country, facing high ticket prices and high costs, would stay away. But the reality was 99.7% attendance. That brings us to the third key, and America's deepest strength, a vast, highly stratified consumer market. The World Cup here isn't selling a 90-minute ticket to a match. It's selling the world's top sports IP, a once-in-a-lifetime experience, a symbol of status and social capital. For example, There was a flag bearer program before games, letting some kids walk onto the pitch. The price tag was huge for an average family, yet every slot had a waiting list. Because those parents weren't buying a service, they were buying that rare, unforgettable moment of their child standing on the world stage. It's like a prism, clearly showing the layered structure of the U.S. market. What looks unbelievably expensive to one group is a prize scarcity for another. That kind of spending power, which can turn even a non-mainstream sport into a commercial juggernaut, is the real depth and vitality of the American economy. So, looking back, many people have started to reflect through this World Cup. Maybe we've been oversimplifying America. Headlines showed division and decline, but this huge, unfakeable event revealed its capital-driven control, its commercial precision, and its systemic stability. It made a 40-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo score twice, let Messi keep leading the scorer chart under Miami's sun, and brought out the best in every top-tier star, maximizing the drama. All of that is the result of capital working behind the scenes for global broadcast rights and astronomical stakes. For America, the epitome of capitalism, capital control isn't poison, it's blood. Of course, we're not here to idolize America. Its problems are real and many are unsolvable. Its political hegemony may be unsustainable, and its military actions in Iran have left it embarrassed. But the World Cup as a mirror shows us a more complex, more real America, a compound that can be politically messy yet still run a precision commercial machine. In the end, as one observer wrote, a truly powerful nation doesn't need to be loud all the time. A truly powerful market doesn't need street carnival to prove itself. Its strength shows in packed stadiums, orderly parking lots, sold-out hotel bookings, and those unbelievably priced tickets you just can't understand. The World Cup doesn't lie. What it shows us is never just football. It's a nation's most honest, raw hand of cards. And America, still, holds the best hand on earth. That's my take on this World Cup. Thanks for listening. See you next time.